Hello, Chef Marcus Guiliano here, and welcome to In the Weeds. In the Weeds, my business podcast, where I talk about restaurant tips. Sometimes I have a guest, sometimes I don't. But this is my business restaurant podcast where I talk about tips to help you through your restaurant journey. Whether you own a restaurant, whether you will be getting a restaurant, your own restaurant, whether you manage a restaurant, whether you help other restaurants do marketing. This is for you. So, all right. This is episode number 28. Episode number 28. Back to the basics. Back to the basics of marketing. Back to the basics of exposure. So this is a mistake that the mistake I'm going to tell you right now in this podcast right here in this episode. Let me keep it as short as I can today. This is a mistake by the majority of restaurants out there, the majority of marketing agencies out there, the majority of social media management companies out there are making this mistake. And if you're paying a company to do this stuff for you, then you really better make sure that this is being done. So one of my books I wrote, Top Reasons That Nobody Knows Your Business Exists, or no, you still have no customers. Same thing. If they don't know you exist, you don't have customers. So this is a quick little pamphlet, little read here. And this goes back to really a lot of basic things. Now, the cover, if you're watching this, is a guy setting smoke signals with a city skyline in the back, right? So smoke signals, folks, are the way people used to communicate. That is something of the past. That is that's a long history. We know smoke signals are antiquated, right? We all know that. But yet some of us open up a business and we expect to get similar results as if you were to send smoke signals, right? Thus the cover of the book. There are so many things, and I know this is a very, very overwhelming, like extremely overwhelming for a lot of people. And this is why sometimes you just want to hire an expert to come in and get this stuff done for you. But if you don't know, then how would you expect to monitor or keep up on the expert you've hired? Which is why I'm here to tell you about this kind of stuff. So first of all, if you want a ton of tips, you go to 50mistakes.com, 50mistakes.com. That is the website that I have a lot of free information on. And there's a video for almost everything. There's a video for everything in my book on there. There's tons and tons of videos, lots of experts, a lot of interviews on there. So we all know, or a lot of us know, that we're listed on Yelp regardless. We're listed on TripAdvisor regardless if we list ourselves or not. And a lot of people say, well, I don't want to be on Yelp, Marcus. I can't stand Yelp. I don't want to be on Yelp. Screw Yelp. Well, you're listed on Yelp anyway. You're listed on TripAdvisor anyway. You're listed on Google Business anyway. You're listed on all these platforms anyway, despite you controlling them. Okay. Now, that being said, you have the option to go on to Yelp and claim your listing. You have an option to go on to TripAdvisor and claim your listing. If you're starting a new business, then you're not going to be listed yet. So that is where you go on Google Business, you go on these things, and you put your own listing up. Now, if you've been in business in 2-3 years and you've never done anything with Yelp, there's people on Yelp yelping you right now. You already have a review. You already have a rating. You already have people reviewing you. You already have other people uploading pictures of your restaurant, good or bad, or your business. That's automatically already set and already on there outside of your control. And some people are like, well, if I ignore it, maybe it'll go away. If I ignore it, I don't have to deal with Yelp, because a lot of people do not like Yelp. I actually love Yelp. So Yelp takes time to work. You have to work the account. You have to work your TripAdvisor. You have to work your Google page. You have to treat them just like your regular social media. We go on Facebook every day, we update. We go on Instagram, we go daily, weekly, and we update, we post, but we never go into our Google page and update our Google page as far as photos, events, links, videos, things like that never get updated on our Google page, right? That just doesn't happen. So now Here's one business listing that probably 90% of restaurants out there are not taking advantage of right now. And you're on there, and your information possibly could be very wrong. And in fact, to the point where it might even be the wrong phone number on here. And this is a major search platform. It's called Bing, B-I-N-G, Bing. Bing is owned by Microsoft. And here's what you can do for your business. Now, I suggest do not wait. Do this ASAP. It takes up to almost 3 weeks to 4 weeks to update your listing on Bing, especially when you first claim it. It takes a while to do this. I don't know why it takes so long, but if you go log on the Bing now and has your wrong hours, and this happened to me, folks, I went on and it had me closing at 5 and it had me from a 9 to 5 business. And when I went on originally to claim it, it took a full month to actually have them updated after I claimed my business, submitted the information. And I was like, why? This should be very simple. It should be a very simple thing. Every other website, every other business listing, you update it and it goes right away. But Bing, for some reason, doesn't. Or initially in the beginning, they don't. So you type in Bing into your search engine, and now you get a Bing search bar, right? You'll get a Bing page. From there, you type in your business name and you check it out. I know here the local lumberyard, this is what made me look at my Bing listing. Somebody's looking for the local lumberyard. They clicked it and they took a snapshot of this lumberyard business on Bing, and it had my website on their profile. And I don't mind that, but I'm sure the lumberyard doesn't want that. They want their own website listed. So my website is on their Bing. And I sent it to them in a picture. And I said, hey, guest was looking you guys up and this and that. I don't know if they've done anything. However, so that prompted me to go on mine. My hours are wrong. My pictures aren't up to date and current. So then I go on and claim my listing and go through this whole process. So go to Bing and type in Bing in a Google search bar, whatever search bar you use, DuckDuckGo. That'll bring you to a Bing page. Type your business in and see what pops up. Bing actually has a lot of cool features in that account. So, and people seriously use Bing. Bing is a Microsoft company, and people are actually using Bing on a regular basis to find businesses, to find places to eat, to find places to give their money to. And if you're not properly on there, like I wasn't, I was probably missing out on my Bing listing on revenue. Now it goes beyond this. There are tons and tons of things out there, even like Yellow Pages, yellowpages.com. There's a bunch of things out there. You can actually do a search, and there's a company called Yext, Y-E-X-T, which I don't suggest you subscribe to their service because they want to bill you to keep everything up to date, unless you want to do it under one thing. You don't think $3 a week is much, and you want to pay $150 a year to do your Yahoo, and it's $10 a week to do all the other listings. But if you go on there, type in your business name, Yext will go through and run a report for you to show you what you're listed on and what you're not listed on. Then from there, you can actually go, okay, well, I need to update it on Zomato, for example, or whatever the site is. I need to update it here, here, and here. Or my phone number doesn't match this and this. There's missing information or non-matching information, or I'm not listed at all on here. And then you can go through and do your own self-audit, or have somebody in your office do your own self-audit, or hand it to your social media person, because realistically, your Google listing, your Bing listing, Yelp, TripAdvisor, all these listings are typically part of social media because you're interacting with people. People can talk to you, they can rate you, they can post pictures of you without rating you, by the way. So these are places where you can go on and upload your own, take control of the content that's going on there, and control the narrative that's going on there by putting photos and events and things like that, especially on your Google page. You can put events on your Google page, just like Facebook has events, Google will have events. So that's how that's done. So folks, make sure you go to your Bing listing, B-I-N-G, check it out, make sure it's updated, update it currently, and again, hand that over to your social media person, if you have a social media person, and say, here's part of your new task now. Make sure my Google listings are up. I get a Google email constantly for our businesses, and it goes right into my Gmail, and it shows me here. It says, congratulations. I just got some yesterday here, if I can show you on the screen. Google My Business. Congratulations. Your 249 photos got 85,000 views last month. 249 photos got 89,000 views last month. If you can read that, if you're watching. So people, so 85,000 times my photos were shown, and that's a low month. Usually I get up to 120, 100 and 130 in the summertime, and our peak season I get up to 150,000 views a month on our Google page. Our photos were viewed that many times. That means when people are searching restaurants, Ellenville, Restaurants Hudson Valley, Aroma Time Bistro, my restaurant, people are going on, seeing that page and clicking and opening up and scrolling through my photos and going through. So 85,000 times we got viewed last month on Google. I can guarantee you that's the largest in my community, and probably the largest within a lot of restaurants, even larger restaurants than mine, because we keep that very active. So that's part of our social media person's job, is to take anything on Facebook and upload it to these other sites and keep them active and going, keep content rolling. That's it, folks. Get over to 50mistakes.com, 50mistakes.com. Grab my free book, 50 Mistakes That Business Owners Make. It's geared for the restaurant industry, although any industry, any company will benefit from them. There's only about 4 or 5 specific chapters about menu and food. The other stuff is basic stuff that any business would benefit from. That is it, folks. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. And until next time.